All right, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the 2018 CPT updates for Psychiatry and Behavioral Health. Can you guys believe that we are back here again? Every time it comes around the holidays, I know what that means for us. And that means that not only have we finally gotten through the ICD-10 changes, but that also means that we have CPT right around the corner. So January 1st occurs, we have to hit the ground running. Again, just like the moderator said, my name is Dr. Dreama Sloan Kelly. I'm a physician and a certified coder. I like to tell people I'm a weirdo kind of doc. What I like to do is be able to combine in my role as a physician or my clinical background with my business background and try to create an environment that allows me to give you a peek in the mind of a physician and then also give the physicians a peek into the mind of a biller coder or a business and practice manager. I am president of Dr. Sloan Kelly Consulting, formerly Kelly Sloan Associates. As of January 1st, everything will be converting over. I'm pretty excited about my rebranding. And you can visit me on my home on the web at www.drsloankelly.com. Also, my email address, if you end up having questions after this is over, and I actually will remind you of my email address at the end, but my email address I put on the first slide is dreama@drsloankelly.com. Let's go ahead and get through a couple of business matters before we go ahead and get started. Number one, the first thing I tell people all the time is that you're going to be offered, you will have the ability to ask me questions live at the end of the webinar. Now, when it's the CPT update webinars, I do not tend to get a lot of questions. I think primarily because it's just pretty much straightforward. And, you know, a lot of times the questions will stem from other things. This psychiatry section, I think, is going to have questions after we start using these codes because for whatever reason, a lot of changes have happened in your industry again. And I think, you know, I think a lot of it's going to be usage by the time you will figure out what's, you know, how payers are seeing it, how we're going to work through the changes, and what the nuances are. So I think a lot of your questions in regards to psych billing is going to probably shoot out a little bit further out. But one of the things that I tell everybody is that if you have a question that pops in your head, instead of keeping it in your head, then this is my little trick that I've done myself. When I listen to webinars, if I have a question and I'm stuck on that question, I often don't hear anything else that's going on for that webinar from that point forward. So what I often tell people to do is take a moment, write down that question. Then when it is time for you to go ahead and ask your question, what you will be able to do is type it in and then you know, get your question answered. What that allows you to do is get it off your mind. Also, 9 times out of 10, your question gets answered as you go forward in the webinar. And if it's not, then it gives you time to, you know, remember your question, type it in, and get it answered. So are you ready for some fun? I always put this slide in all of my webinars just to remind me to tell you a little bit about my style, about myself, and how I like to go about doing things. I like to give you a lot of information in a Power Pack format. That is absolutely my MO. Now here is the deal. Sally, I've tried to figure out a way to make CPT updates sexy. There's just no way in doing it, okay? I can do anything else that's fun, but CPT updates, it's just a plethora of information. It's just numbers and descriptors. One morning, when I do these CPT updates, get dyslexia when it comes to putting together these numbers, so I'll invert numbers. If I do that by accident, because usually I try to catch it, but if I do it by accident, I will tell you what to change, because I actually, while I'm doing this, go along with the CPT book just to make sure that I didn't invert any of the numbers. I do it every year, invariably, at least one webinar, so I'm just warning everybody now. So let's look at some of the overview. Let's do an overview right now. So there are several coding changes for 2018. We will look at the deleted codes. We're going to talk about revised codes and as well as new CPT codes. You guys have a lot of changes that happen in psych and behavioral health. We will also present any guideline changes for the new year. One of the things that you're going to notice is that for these new changes that have occurred for psych and behavioral health, the guidelines are very, very, very important. Guidelines are important anyway, but one of the things that I have seen across specialties when it comes to 2018 revisions, they have done a really good job of revising and clarifying things in the guidelines. So I was actually pretty excited about that. Even though the ICD-10 codes went into effect on October 1st, 2017, I actually went ahead and put in any of those that pertain to psych or behavioral health, and just so that you can have a good overview of that. A lot of times I have found out that people tend to not really look at ICD-10 until they start thinking about CPT, even though it's a little backwards. You actually want to look at ICD-10 before October 1, but a lot of times people push it off for January, and so what I did is I go ahead and I always try to combine the two so that I can make sure that everybody is on the same page. So what you're going to see here is the way that I try to do things. What I hope you will be able to notice is that I have created a section. So each time you see the section header, that's the section, the CPT book that it pertains to. So for you guys,